Let's welcome Rose, a 2D animator and media arts graduate, creating visually rich work inspired by existentialism, hermetic philosophy, and the mysteries of life and death. Through animation and visual storytelling, her practice explores imagination, symbolism, and expression. Let's give our attention to Rose.
All right, hello. My name is Rose Kodka. I'm a 25-year-old visual artist with a bachelor's degree in 2D and experimental animation from Emily Carr. My goal is to build an independent studio known for insightful, visually distinctive storytelling. I've always been drawn to the mysteries of life. What is the nature of existence and why are we here? I began to research these subjects at 16 using art as a way to process my abstract thoughts and concretize them in image. Over time, my creative practice began to offer answers to some of these questions. I believe that our ability to find poetry and harmony in the world is what makes us resilient, unstoppable, and deeply connected to existence itself. This insight inspired me to create my own animation studio, Sentient Rose Studios. The aim of Sentient Rose Studios is to inspire existential wonder through animation. My work explores themes of consciousness, existential philosophy, and mythology. Two examples of my work include a music video titled Life Has a Cold Dead Body, as shown above. It explores themes of joy and tragedy. The second example is a short film titled Blackbird, about a singing bird who falls in love with a hunter. It explores loneliness and naive love. I believe audiences are hungry for stories that challenge them emotionally and philosophically, not just provide 90 minutes of entertainment. Mainstream film has become increasingly risk-averse. Corporate studios suffer from franchise dependency, market homogenization, and algorithm-driven trends. As a result, sequels and remakes dominate the industry, creating emotionally predictable storytelling with limited stylistic differentiation. Creative freedom requires independence from corporate interference. Through faster experimentation and lower overhead, my studio can develop a strong and unique artistic identity. With the growing demand for authentic, creator-driven art, I'm confident in my studio's potential for growth and broad appeal. In 2026, YouTube released a Culture and Trends report supporting this shift towards independent animation. The report found that 61% of young adult animation fans enjoyed series created by independents as much or more than those created by major studios. Audiences are seeking artists who create from a genuine passion for their craft, not commercial trends. My target demographic is primarily young adults aged 16 to 30. However, anyone interested in philosophy, psychology, mythology, or art house animation would be interested in my work. These audiences are niche, underserved, and highly loyal when deeply engaged. These are examples of different types of clients who I've worked with thus far. They include musicians, small businesses, art galleries, and authors. I charge them through predetermined rates and start every collaboration with a legally reviewed contract. This is not just an animation practice, it's an IP development studio. By streamlining various sources of revenue, such as advertisements on online content or commissions, I'm confident that my studio can create a stable financial foundation. I formulated a 3-tier revenue model designed to balance stable income streams with passion projects. The first channel focuses on low-risk, high-trust projects, including commissions, freelance work, and studio subcontracting. These avenues provide consistent cash flow, portfolio growth, and industry relationships. The second channel includes low to medium-risk projects, such as adaptations of classic literature or mythology. This allows me to build original visual branding, retain adaptation rights, and develop commercially viable content with existing audience appeal. The final channel is supported by the previous two, along with grants and investors. This category consists of original stories, works expanding IP ownership. Current operational costs focus on scalable production tools, including upgraded drawing hardware, industry-standard animation software, and print materials. The allocation of $3,000 towards these investments would significantly improve both the speed and quality of my animation, along with its potential for growth this year. My current projection for 2026 is the production of a children's book titled Oliver's Tree, which I plan to self-publish and sell through local businesses. I plan to later produce an animated adaptation of this. Over the next 2 years, I aim to expand my team, produce longer short films, and screen my work at local venues and festivals. Long-term, I plan to establish a proprietary venue for ticketed showings. The Cultural Center residency is an opportunity I'm especially excited about. It would allow me to collaborate with other artists, expand my audience, and explore teaching opportunities. Sentient Rose Studios creates animated works that function not only as entertainment, but as philosophical and cultural experiences. One thing AI cannot do is create out of pain, love, and the investment of limited time and energy. This is what gives my art a living edge. All in all, my aim is to express my love for humanity within the heart of every work. Thank you.
You'll have to forgive me. Is this working? I don't know. That this is going to be the educator in me coming out.
Yes.
So I have a comment slash question that will lead into a question.
Yes.
Which is that I think that our era, this current era, whatever you want to define it as, is categorized by existential dread, right? And uncertainty around the future.
Yes.
So I think there is perhaps saying that your audience is folks interested in philosophy and mythology might be limiting yourself a little bit. Because I think it has broader impact than just people that are interested in that because of everything going on in the world. And this leads me into this question: how did you get onto this line of thinking? How did this theme start to drive you, Rose? What's your interest in it?
Yeah. So at the beginning of my presentation, I mentioned getting into it when I was around 16. I was one of those Gen Z girls who was experiencing a lot of existential dread about the future. And I felt life was very meaningless, and I couldn't really make heads or tails of why I was here, why I was alive, what it meant. And it led me down different rabbit holes of exploring philosophy and existential works, where I realized that I think that the through hole through this phase of nihilism and uncertainty is being creative. And I found that whenever I would create something, I wouldn't really be thinking that much about it, and I would just be expressing. And the act of doing that, I find, is almost like somehow an antidote to that nihilism, because it reminds you that just the act of being here and being able to do that is meaningful in itself. And then it's like that cliche, create your own meaning type thing.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd just be curious, what artists were your influences, actually, especially if you went to Emily Carr?
Yeah. Okay, so for illustrators, I was really influenced by Goya. You can see at the beginning of my slide that I did a pencil drawing, and I was super interested in how Goya does dark imagery and in a very scratchy and black and white way. I really like him. And I'm also interested in Nina Paley, who I'm randomly interviewing next week. She's an animator. She does a lot of mythological themed animations. She did something called Sita Sings the Blues, which is an animated film, and then she did one on the story of Exodus. And she combines a lot of different combines new media and new songs, and then juxtaposes them over these interesting visuals that are simple. She just uses puppets, but then the theme is so deep and culturally relevant that it's just the mixture of all the things that she incorporates really inspired me. Also, Yuri Norstein has incredible. He's he's a Russian animator. He does animations with his wife. He does incredibly detailed puppets, and I just love the heart of his work. He's also doing an animation based off of a literary Russian novel. I really love him, but he's very painstaking with his work. It's the amount of time it takes for him to do anything is literally decades. I really love him. I like, obviously, Felix Colgrave. He's got really interesting animations on YouTube that are extremely creative and visually original. And there's a bunch of other ones, different illustrators, random, even musicians inspire me a lot too.
Have you submitted any of your work to the festival circuits, some of your animated shorts or any of your work like that for getting some more exposure?
Yeah, I'm finishing up a music video right now, the one called Life Has a Cold Dead Body. I'm almost done that one, and I plan to submit it to the Chilliwack Film Festival or use it as pitches for another project that I'm planning on doing. Yeah. Thank you.